Welcome back. If it is joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television, live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Drama in the Senate as lawmakers confirm the appointment of Chibuike Amaechi and 17 other nominees as ministers. Senate confirms Mahmoud Yakubu as INEC chairman. Supreme Court dismisses appeal by the People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate, Emeka Ihedioha. Third and India-Africa Summit opens in New Delhi. Speaking of which, here are a few pictures sent in to our Eyewitness portal. Let's begin with this one showing an overloaded truck by traders on the Gombe-Bauchi Road. Our Eyewitness reporter wants road safety officials to ensure more compliance with traffic rules. Next is this one showing that cows are taking over a lane in the ever-busy Lokoja Bridge, causing traffic gridlock. I guess we have the wrong picture there. I will get it right. There it is. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the government to call the Fulani herdsmen to order. Oh, now we can show you that picture of young men skating on the Lekki Expressway here in Lagos. Our reporter wants law enforcement agents to check this act, which is fast becoming rampant. We sincerely thank you for sending in those pictures and know that you too can become an Eyewitness reporter for Channels Television. And so we'd like to remind you again of our main story tonight. The lawmakers today move for the confirmation of 18 candidates after they'd gone through the screening process at the Senate in the past few days. The exercise was not without drama today. PDP lawmakers staged a walkout of the proceedings following the Senate's decision to confirm River State former Governor Chibuike Amaechi as minister. Our correspondent Linda Kigbe reports.
It's a process that has taken nearly 3 weeks. The confirmation hearing of the 36 ministerial nominees. The Senate had earlier approved and confirmed the first batch of 18 ministerial nominees. But one ministerial nominee has from the beginning threatened to set the two political parties in the Senate on a collision course. The nomination of the former River State Governor Rotimi Amaechi has very visibly split the Senate across party lines. On the day he was screened, PDP senators refused to ask him any questions. The controversy over his nomination reached a crescendo on the final day of confirmation of the remaining ministerial nominees. At the continuation of the confirmation hearing, the Senate President began calling out the names of the nominees for confirmation.
Would the Senate confirm Barrister Adebayo Shitu as Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
When he got the turn of Mr. Amaechi, the Senate President asked the chairman of the Committee on Ethics to present the report on a petition against Mr. Amaechi.
Recommendations following from the discovery that the matter before the Senate is actually before a competent court of law. The committee accordingly recommends as follows. A, that since the ministerial nominee had gone to the Court of Appeal to challenge the content of the petitions and the white paper of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, the Senate is unable to recommend the consideration of his confirmation.
But it was clear that the ruling APC was not in favor of the recommendation of the committee.
Since a matter is already a subject of litigation in a competent court of law, and since the Senate could not work contrary to its own rules, that is Order 41-7. It is constrained in taking any further action. Now let this be the recommendation so accepted. I so move.
Yeah. Senators from the two parties were divided over the recommendation of the committee.
The report that was laid here was worthy of allegations. Allegations on corruptions, allegations on sales of public assets, mismanagement of funds, and above all, in funding these issues, will be recaptured in future. If we encourage corruption, when Mr. President is fighting against corruption, then this chamber is encouraging.
Order 53.5 provides that reference shall not be made to any matter on which a judicial decision is pending in such a way as might, in the opinion of the President of the Senate, prejudice the interest of the parties thereto. If a matter was pending and we did not know, and this matter was made known at the committee level, the committee should have been guided to come here and tell us that we have an obligation under Section 147, which I may also read, Mr. President, to approve a ministerial nominee.
When it appeared that the opposition had seen the handwriting on the wall, all but the Deputy Senate President staged a walkout. From then on, it was a smooth ride for Mr. Rotimi Amaechi.
Those in favor of the recommendation of the report say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. The report of the Senate Committee on Ethics is hereby rejected. Senate, those in favor that Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi is approved an appointment as Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi is appointed as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
At the end of the day, the Senate confirmed all 18 ministerial nominees. In the coming days, it would be interesting to see if the impasse between lawmakers in the PDP and APC would end with this issue or would affect the relationship of the two major political parties in the Senate. Linda Kibe, Channels Television News.
Let's take this discussion further now. We'll be joined on the news at 10 by a lawyer and convener of the Situation Room, Mr. Clement Wankwo. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you.
So the APC-led Senate has gone ahead to confirm the former Rivers State Governor Chibuike Amaechi as minister, despite the recommendation of its Committee on Ethics and Privileges to the contrary, because the matter is still in court. What's the position of the Constitution on this matter?
Well, clearly, when you look at the Constitution, it prescribes conditions and qualifications for appointment as minister. The provision in the Constitution is that you must actually qualify to be member of at least the House of Representatives, and it there includes several provisions, including provisions that you must not have been declared a bankrupt, you must not have been indicted by a competent tribunal or court or competent jurisdiction, and several such. What appeared to have been the case here was that the committee that was charged with investigating the petition against Chibuike Amaechi's nomination did not really go into all of those issues and did not provide sufficient evidence of disqualification as outlined in the Constitution. The committee's report wasn't looking at those aspects of constitutional qualification. So it would appear that what the Senate had before it was really the question whether going to court was sufficient to put a hold on consideration of Chibuike Amaechi's nomination as minister. And clearly, what the Senate did was say that this was not sufficient, given that there were no issues relating to his constitutional qualification.
And can the former River State Governor still be sworn in legitimately as minister, or will it be incumbent on the President to remove him even if he gets sworn in?
Well, the ministers are appointed at the pleasure, or at least nominated to the Senate for confirmation at the pleasure of the president. And thereafter, the president may remove any minister for whatever reason. He doesn't require to go back to the Senate for that purpose. But it would appear that given that the Senate has confirmed Chibuike Amaechi's nomination, that the president would go ahead to swear him in. Clearly, nobody was under the illusion that Chibuike Amaechi would not be confirmed, simply for the reason that what was going on was politics. It wouldn't be the first time that the Senate would be going into confirmation crisis, as we did have here in this 8th Senate. In the 7th Senate, there was the issue of Musili Obanikoro as well, which saw the opposition party walk out because they did not think that Musili Obanikoro should have been sworn in as a minister of the Federal Republic. So this is politics that was playing out here, and what clearly played out was really that the ruling party, the majority party, had its way. And like was said by one of the senators, the opposition had its say.
You mentioned the walkout of the senators. We were just going to ask if that should have had any impact on the proceedings, but thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us, Mr. Nwankwo.
Thank you.
Coming up, still ahead on the news at 10. The National Insurance Commission plans insurance guidelines for the Nigeria Customs Service. We'll have details in business news. Please stay with us.